Have you ever looked at your thesis methodology chapter and thought, this is a complete mess? You have a research question, you have some data, you even have a few articles, but connecting everything together feels impossible. You're hearing words like epistemology, positivism, and inductive reasoning, and suddenly your methodology chapter feels like a completely different language. But here's the good news: there is a simple framework that researchers use to structure their entire study logically. And yes, it's called the research onion. In this video, I will show you how this onion can turn a chaotic thesis into a clear, logical, and defensible research design. By the end of this video, you will understand why the methodology chapter feels confusing, how the research onion organizes research decisions, and how to apply it step by step in your own thesis. Let's start peeling the onion. For many students, the methodology chapter is the most stressful part of the thesis. Not because the research itself is difficult, but because every decision must be justified. For example, why did you choose interviews instead of surveys? Why qualitative instead of quantitative? Why a case study instead of an experiment? Without a framework, these decisions feel random. And when research decisions feel random, your methodology becomes difficult to defend. This is exactly the problem the Research Onion solves. The Research Onion, developed by Saunders and his colleagues, is a model that organizes research decisions into layers. Each layer represents an important methodological choice. Just like peeling an onion, you move from the outer layers to the inner layers. Each decision logically leads to the next one. The layers include research philosophy, research approach, research strategy, methodological choices, time horizon, and techniques and procedures. When you follow this structure, your research design becomes logical, coherent, and defensible. Now let's look at the first layer. The outermost layer of the research onion is research philosophy. Research philosophy refers to your beliefs about knowledge and reality. In simple terms, it answers this question: how do we know something is true? There are three common philosophies in research. The first is positivism. Positivism assumes that reality can be measured objectively. Researchers collect numerical data and use statistics to test hypotheses. Large surveys, experiments, and statistical analysis often follow this philosophy. The second philosophy is interpretivism. Interpretivism assumes that reality is subjective and socially constructed. Instead of measuring reality, researchers try to understand people's experiences and perspectives. Methods such as interviews, observations, and case studies are commonly used in interpretivist research. The third philosophy is pragmatism. Pragmatism focuses on what works best for the research problem. Instead of debating whether quantitative or qualitative research is better, pragmatists use whichever methods help answer the research question most effectively. This often leads to mixed methods research, which combines numbers and narratives. Your research philosophy shapes every decision that follows. That is why it forms the outermost layer of the research onion. The next layer is the research approach. This refers to how theory and data interact in your research. There are two main approaches: deductive and inductive. The deductive approach starts with existing theory. The researcher develops hypotheses based on that theory and then collects data to test them. The process follows a logical path: theory, hypothesis, data collection, and analysis. This approach is commonly used in quantitative research. The inductive approach works in the opposite direction. Instead of starting with theory, researchers begin with observations or data. They then identify patterns and develop new theories based on what they discover. The process moves from data to patterns to theory. Inductive research is common in qualitative studies that explore experiences and meanings. Your research approach must align with your research philosophy. This alignment is what makes the research onion such a powerful framework. Now let's move to the next layer. The next layer is research strategy. Research strategy is the overall plan used to answer your research question. Common research strategies include surveys, experiments, case studies, ethnography, and grounded theory. For example, a positivist deductive study may use surveys or experiments to collect numerical data. An interpretivist inductive study may use interviews or case studies to understand lived experiences. Again, the decisions are connected. Each layer supports the next. The next layer is methodological choices. At this stage, you decide the type of data you will collect. There are three main options. The first is monomethod research. This means using only one type of data, either quantitative or qualitative. For example, a study may rely entirely on a survey. The second option is multi-method research. This involves using several techniques within the same type of data. For example, multiple qualitative interview methods. The third option is mixed methods. Mixed methods research combines both qualitative and quantitative data. For example, a researcher may conduct a survey to identify patterns and then follow up with interviews to understand the reasons behind those patterns. The next layer is the time horizon. This refers to the time frame of your study. There are two main possibilities. The first is cross-sectional research. In cross-sectional studies, data is collected at a single point in time. For example, a one-time survey conducted with participants. The second possibility is longitudinal research. In longitudinal studies, data is collected over an extended period of time. Researchers observe how variables change across months or even years. Finally, we reach the center of the research onion. This layer is called techniques and procedures. Here, you describe the specific methods used in your study. This includes data collection methods, sampling techniques, research instruments, interview protocols, and data analysis procedures. By the time you reach this layer, every methodological decision has already been logically justified by the previous layers. Your research design becomes structured and coherent. The research onion may appear complex at first, but its purpose is simple. It organizes research decisions into a logical sequence. Instead of making random methodological choices, you move layer by layer from philosophy to procedures. When your methodology follows this structure, your thesis becomes easier to explain, easier to defend, and much easier to write. If this explanation helped you understand research methodology, please like this video so more students can find it. And if you're working on a thesis, dissertation, or research paper, subscribe to Write Smart Lab. Before you go, tell me in the comments, which layer of the research onion confuses you the most?